Hi, thank you so much for ordering my service again. Very nice to wake up and read the good comments. So yeah, so I will upload this within the hour, within 2 hours. Let's see, depends on my internet speed. Will also send the transcript later on. So let's get into it. So again, a bit guidelines, palmistry 70 to 80% accurate. More about personality, and through personality, you can make the events. Like basically, what happens is like COVID is going on, so our reaction to COVID would determine the events which will happen, because reaction is more important than the event itself. Secondly, death cannot be told by palmistry, astrology, numerology. So if anyone looks at your hand or your birth chart and says you will die this and that date, totally false information. Now, without further ado, let us go into the palm reading. So first of all, I noticed the finger setting. Now the finger, as you also mentioned, she is doing business now. Not surprising that the Apollo finger is the strongest. This shows the risk-taking potential, the talent, the money-making potential. So there is talent and money-making potential. Along with that, the little finger is the ideal length, meaning it is beginning with the first phalange of the third finger, which means that the person is very uses their both their artistic skills, their talking skills, their all skills in towards the business. Like suppose this person might have artistic skills, like maybe crafting something, making something, critiquing something, anything to do business with the arts, maybe even with the tailoring, with the fashion, these things. But they do not become artists in the true sense, because Apollo mount is not mostly to do with art, it is mostly to do with the selling of art. What happens now is the combination, because these two mounts are combining into one, which makes the person having Mercurian Apollonian talents. Now these are not her strongest mounts. I would say these are among the strongest mounts, and the strongest mounts I will be looking at next. So first of all, we see that the combination of Mercury Apollyon, which ironically I also have, because I also use the combination of my I would say spiritual skills with my business skills to form a business, and to also again I'm writing guides, and most of them will be free books, so that people will be happily guided, and your feedback also motivated me more, and many other people who have read the book a bit, because it's very short. So whoever read have given me positive feedback that they want to read the next book in the series, which I'm currently working on. So it is not only for business purposes, but I'm also trying to make people's lives better. In a way, your mother is also like that. Then we see in terms of education, we see I actually forgot what you mentioned in the education side, but for the Saturn being undeveloped, the person is not that educated. Could be college level, could be high school level, could even be bachelor's level, but I'm pretty sure maybe not more than bachelor's degree. If I forgot to read the educational qualification, but mostly the people who have this do not go. They can go to master's, PhD, but it is advised they only study that. Especially these people are very self-taught, autodidactic, self-taught people, self-learned, and they actually will learn things faster when they learn from their own rather than a teacher. Like online lectures is good for them, because it doesn't involve too much immersion in the subject. So anything to do with money, entrepreneurship, anything like reading something about the business they are in, whatever interests them, they will get success in that. Whatever they feel is less, the most effortless thing, even if it's a hard working thing, they will get success in that. So that is what shows by the Saturn being undeveloped. It also makes the person optimistic, cheerful, less likely to suffer from depressive episodes. Even if something depressing happens, they will be very cheerful and optimistic, and they should keep this. They should also listen to their feelings. They are a feeling oriented person, so their innermost gut, their intuition, all these things they should listen to. When they are starting a business, either they start it after a long time, they shouldn't start it right away. They should gain some experience. This could be informal experience, learning online tutorials, attending a small course. Again, small courses are recommended, because this person does, even if they want to study long term, bachelor's, master's, PhD, it's not recommended, because they are money making persons, so they don't need that much education, even if they have the opportunity and the brains, which they clearly have. So then we see that the little finger, first finger is low set. So that is what I meant, that the person should not start with a business. They should start with experience. That could be in office, off office, informal, formal, any type of practical experience, and that will help them. So they don't go for the more intellectual things. That will be very successful, especially when we see the little and index finger low set. That means that this person, even though they were maybe born with a lot of opportunities, they maybe missed out, maybe because of early marriage, could be maybe due to financial pressure, parental pressure, societal pressure. But the thing is that these people, because they are very, I'm looking at the overall poem and saying, because they have she has very strong Mars mount. So these people are fighters. Like if someone was to there are two types of mothers. One is like suppose you are working with her somewhere and someone was to try to harm you. So she would of course the mother will always defend with her life, but she will not only defend, she will attack. Like she will physically attack the person, which is like that's why she is very strong. Maybe she comes from military governmental background. Maybe father was policeman, military, naval, air officer, something like this, or some governmental background. Where because of this she inherited. Not necessarily the father, could be relatives, could be grandparents. So these things are inherited. The mounts are mostly inherited. So this could have happened that because she is a very fighting person, she doesn't give up, and these things are very good. But on the downside, they could make her very headstrong. But that is lessened by the excellent shape of the thumb. It is very vase shaped. It is actually very rare for a person from South Asia to have this thumb. This is why they might come across as very unique, because it is also low set, which means that the intelligence level, the standards of the person are very high. They, even if they are less educated to other people, they appear very educated. Like this happens. Like if they go anywhere and they are uneducated or less educated, they might seem like a professor type, teacher type, or something, because they show this to the rest of the world. Again, the thumb is very good length. It is at least reaching almost here, maybe even longer than that. Maybe the photo is like this, but again, the thumb is good length. Maybe it is at long length. It won't be over long because it is low set, but it is long length thumb, meaning that even though due to family pressure and stuff, she had to marry. Even if the marriage was happy, the husband was supportive, children she loves, of course, but it means that she still did not lose the sense of who she is. So she always kept that fighting spirit. Many people who get into bad marriages, this marriage might most probably not have been bad, but many people who get into bad marriages, what happens is that they, suppose husband divorces, husband leaves, tragedies happen, money losses happen. So what happens is that the wife also suffers because the husband's bad moods and this stuff. But this woman will not suffer from bad moods. She will actually be guide the other person to right, meaning that she will be aggressive, but not in the negative sense. She has a lot of positive aggression, standing up for the charity works, civil rights activism, these kind of things, like Malala Yousafzai, Martin Luther King. I would maybe more Malcolm X than Martin Luther King. Those people who are fighters itself, because Martin Luther King, Gandhi, these were like pacifists. They were civil rights activists, but like I think Malala would be good because she also stood up to Taliban, and other people I just don't remember the names of the fighting people, because recently I was reading Gandhi's hand and I'm posting video on him, so I'm just remembering his. But fighting spirit hands would be Malcolm X, who was a very strong person. Even Muhammad Ali, the boxer, he was also a civil rights activist. So there is a lot of aggression. The pacifist people, the peaceful people, they are assertive. They wait for many years. But this person will be aggressive. They could be, the height could be their height could be short or medium length, but they will appear very muscular, very strongly built, especially due to the family genes. So again, as I said, this person does not take any abuse from someone. They will stand up for the underdog, and through charity work they will earn a lot, not only because this person's earning is not the main concern for this person's aim is that the children grow up, become educated, and become even successful than themselves. Like the children become more successful than the parents. They are fighters. They can serve in the military capacity. They are very brave. They can be in social work, charity, civil rights, can get even asylum in other countries if they go the long way. Again, not recommended exactly, but these people are fighters. They do not care if they are in Nepal or outside Nepal. They can be patriotic, but only patriotic, not fully devoted. Like if the person is, there's a current politician, this person will not support them. This person will be more supportive of people like Gandhi, who weren't in the direct politics, but they themselves won't be like Gandhi, because Gandhi, as I said, he was a pacifist. This person is a fighter. So anyone like freedom fighter, military people, these people have this kind of poem. Now we see that this poem is very excellent because the main lines are very clear, and especially after at the age, like if the person is nearing their 50s, what happens is with age, person actually gets more lines, like crisscrossing lines, because they have experienced or suffered so much experiences. Like even the good experiences can show as minor lines, but here we see whichever experiences. As I said, poem is the reaction to stuff. So here she hasn't. Her reaction is always the same. Whether money is running out, whether the house is destroyed. Again, these I'm just saying extreme examples. This person will not care. This person will actually be sleeping if outside there are tanks rolling, because this person is very strong-willed. So they, they can adapt themselves in any environment, but they will not take, any bad things from anyone. They won't take abuse, especially maybe they themselves can withstand the abuse because they are so mentally strong, but they won't like to see anyone else getting abused, so they will like fight for them. They could lose even the opportunities, may have lost opportunities due to their fighting stance. Again, this person is not the negative aggressor. This person, if they see someone being bullied, abused, they will stand up for them. Otherwise, if they see that everything is fair and just, so these people like believe in justice. Their goal is the betterment of society, betterment of children, but there should be justice. They don't believe in money. Especially if you say I'm earning from this is a shortcut, there will be no, take the long turn, or else you will might fall prey to criminal activities. They are very anti-criminal, very might also be a bit, as I said earlier, patriotic about their country, but they can also be successful outside the country. It all depends on how patriotic they are. As long as the other country is also having rules. So rules may mean a lot to them. They follow rules. They might have never had a parking ticket, and they are a stickler for the rules as that. And the strongest mount, okay, now we go to the strongest mounts one by one. So the strongest mounts are Mars. This is Mars positive, which is the most developed mount on the hand. This is Mars negative. Again, Mars negative does not mean that it is a bad mount. It just means that it has been, the old name is negative Mars, the new name is lower Mars, and this is upper Mars. So I'm going with the lower Mars now. So this is lower Mars, this is upper Mars. Now if you see lower Mars, it was anciently associated by saying that it is negative Mars, because what happens is that the people, because I'm talking about the old palmistry. Now the palmistry has changed. My books are also coming out. I've researched many years, 11 years it has been. So I will show all that what the palmist, I won't say they got it wrong. It was that every palmist, when they do a study of the hand, they find new concepts. It's a bit scientific. I won't say fully scientific because many people don't believe. I also have a half belief in it, like in the sense of half belief, like I won't be fully devoted. Like I would say that this will happen, you have to follow my advice or become, a guru type guy. I'm very realistic. I believe that anyone can change their destiny, but only through knowing themselves. Which I think I mentioned in your video as well. So we see now here both mounts are actually positive. So that's why I do not call them negative positive. I think it just slipped from my mouth. Now we see that lower Mars is very good. Now there are no negative signs on lower Mars. This is what made me very like even before just glancing on the palm when you sent it first, I was like, this is a very good palm. This is a very, very good palm because the minor lines are missing. Because what happens is, you will see in that even in young people, in young as 20, they will have a lot of minor lines, which means confusion, which means they are all very easily very sensitive, too sensitive, because of the internet age as well. Because nowadays people are more sensitive. They like get hurt easily. It happens sometimes they are rightfully hurt, but mostly they're easily hurt, like by something they got offended, or did you tell me you commented on this post negatively, you were against this political party. I think this happens in Nepal as well, like political posts, they like can lead to actual fights. So this person is unaffected by the world around them. That's why they're very strong. They are actually very, very strong. Women of this type are rare to find in South Asia. Actually, you might have not even met a person who is like your mother. Because like exactly unique personality, strong personality. Unless you go to the military, then you will find a lot of female or police women, but only those who are not corrupt at all. Only the people serving in the government capacity, the public, the charity workers who are not corrupt, they will find this. Because Martian people, Martian is a personality type, they are the direct opposite of they will be the people who, if 10 policemen, women are corrupt, they will be the only one who is not corrupt, and they will work with the higher authorities to bring the other people to justice. So these people are the ones who have brought change, but it has happened at a price. This price could have been like broken relations, because of course in South Asia they prefer women to be submissive and stuff. So this is why this type emerges after every every generation. There will be this type over old generation, the 70s kids, 80s kids, they will have this because they grew up in turmoil, lack of stability maybe. Again, I don't think she comes from a very poor background, because the Mounts of Mars belong to people whose I think parents were at least middle class or lower middle class. So I don't think she ever faced poverty in her life, especially because she is very hard worker. So as I said, the reaction to the world, nothing phases her. COVID, bird flu, anything which happens, will not phase her. If it affects their family, yes, for sure. If something is happening and affecting family, if she has to move, she won't be stubborn. She will be like, yeah, let's move, because the thumb is also half flexible. It's not fully flexible. It's actually the best length to have. And again, it is having the logic phalange and will phalange very good. The logic phalange is also of a very good, and the overall thumb is vase shape, which means that this person can be diplomatic when they want to be. They might have high standards, like, because like if suppose she is choosing girl for you, so she will do full research, and then she will like allow you to marry the girl. Again, I don't remember your poem, that's why I'm saying like this. She also has the rare third phalange. Now the third phalange, whenever it is there, this means that the person, for them, love is also a very important. Like for them, logic is important, justice is important, and love is also important. So she has all. So the thumb is very excellent. To find a long thumb on South Asian woman is very rare, and it is mostly not even now being found on women in Pakistan, because due to the extremists, the terrorists, and this. If you have read Malala Yousafzai, who I'll be doing a poem reading of later on, she also like has this kind of hand, because she faced it and then she got shot, and then she got asylum because she was brave. But the rest of the girls, like if she was writing a blog about her classmates and her, the class would have at least had 80 to 100 students, but she was the only one who wrote a blog and faced the wrath, and she was unafraid throughout. Even like she has, like, I mean, she got shot in the face and survived, but still she came out to do public speeches. She knows how her face is like this, but she isn't sensitive. So these kind of strong South Asian women in patriarchal society are very hard to find. So this is like what your mother's drive is. Again, this person does not take tension. The person does not have anxiety, depression. This person will not face health problem. I would not say any health problem. Maybe blood pressure would be there, because Martians do suffer from that. Maybe sometimes due to the anger, inner anger. Sometimes even though the upper Mars is the mount which controls anger, it makes a person a good debater, makes a person be mentally strong, and it lessens the effects of the developed lower Mars. But sometimes maybe due to aggression. So high blood pressure, I see. Maybe sometimes diabetes, but high blood pressure, I think maybe for sure is there. And that will also be under control. Heart problems only there if runs in the family. If nothing runs in the family, then heart will be fine, but nothing fatalistic, because see, the lines are fully formed. Nothing is breaking. No line is breaking. The main lines are all fully formed. If it's breaking, then sudden death can happen and such. But here the person most likely, again, I don't mention death because it's very taboo thing, but again I'm saying, as the mount is the hands are very strong for a person of her age. That's why I see no, at least I can assure you that no Alzheimer's, Parkinson, these types of things won't happen, even if they run in the family, because the mounts are so strong. So then we also see that the interesting thing is that the fate line, where is it starting from? So the fate line is starting from, I would say, underneath the lifeline. Now when it starts from underneath the lifeline, the person's parents were strict. They might have faced a lack of freedom, like coming home on time, this and that. Maybe parents also had a bit of temper problems, but they disciplined this person very well, and this was lifelong lessons. And then we see at around this what would be 21 age, there is a strong Mercury line. So maybe some very big achievement at 21. There was some big achievement at 21. And then also Mercury line is also very good for business, because a single Mercury line shows singular focus. Then we see at 25 there is a line from the Mount of Moon. So maybe the person themselves were from village or lower middle class, but they married someone from middle class, or someone who traveled a lot, because it's coming from Mount of Moon. So whether arranged or not, the other person has traveled more than her. It could have traveled before the marriage a lot, could have traveled after the marriage or during the marriage, but maybe their work kept them away from the home many times. So kind of like that travel. So again, so then we see that now we see that it is still attached. So at this time when it is attached, basically at 21, maybe she did something like work very hard, struggle a lot, because when the lifeline is like attached to this fate line, this means that the person has to bear some family responsibility. In her case, this could be multiple things. Maybe father got sick, both parents got sick, mother got sick. Maybe she married against her parents' choice, and then this led to banishing from the parents. Maybe she went against caste marriage, arranged marriage, and because of that, this line also occurs. Anyone like recently, I read the poem of Maya Ali. I'm uploading video soon. In her case, she also has this kind of formation. So she is Pakistani actress. very famous in Pakistan. She is young though, but her poem, what her dad passed away. It was very she was just telling in an interview that I only regret not talking to my dad because he banished me out of the home because I chose acting. That too in not even in not even like it's just acting, and was cast out, even though she comes from a modern family. But acting is looked down upon. That's why in South Asia these stupid things are looked at. Like, who cares? Let her act. It's her choice. Her life. She has everything. Looks, talent. No. If you become an actress, we will cast you out of the house. So her father never talked to her. Her mother supported her, but she lived away from the house and she earned from her own, and she earned a lot. So again, what she regretted that even when she attended her father's funeral, she had one regret, that her father never accepted her acting career. Even after, I think it was 5 years after she became famous, that he died, and he never complimented her or called her or such. And this is why her having a long term, etc. I will upload the poem reading soon. It will maybe be in Urdu, but I will again just, if you have any questions regarding her poem, I will be ready to answer as well. So that is the similar case. Maybe something similar happened to her as well. We also see the formation of a triangle here, which is happening after the marriage at 25. But the problem is the Mercury line is not so strong then. So maybe she didn't get the opportunities to save a lot of money. Maybe the husband made a lot of money, but savings were very 50-50. Then we also see from the from the this mount, this upper Mars mount, there is this sun line emerging. Now when the sun line comes from upper Mars, this means at 40 or during the 40s, the person after a lot of struggle makes a lot of money. This I also see a very good sign here, which is out of the Mercury line, there is a line joining the sun line. So first sun line is this, and then this line is joining. So basically what it means that during this time period, the person earns very heavily. The first will be starting from 53, and then when it is ending, so from 53 to, I would say, 58, the person is earning a lot, and this will be the time of earning and spending, because the person will have a lot of money. Then from 59 or 60 onwards, the person has a very strong sun line. So meaning that they will face a very luxurious life after 58, and that time the children will be also earning a lot, and they will be be saying, mother, don't work a lot, don't of course she will work till the end, because not out of need but necessity, not out of necessity but because of need, because she has a single fate line, and this is a very good fate line to have when it's single, and it's happening around if you look at the lines, it's happening around the same time. So we could safely say that from 59 onwards, actually, that the person will be having a very comfortable life, because it is a very good sign to have a single line on the Saturn mount. Many people either don't have line or have many lines. Not having line means that the person becomes depressed because they lose interest in life, and many lines means the person is very confused. But having a very strong singular line is a very good sign. Again, we also see that the fate line itself is ending in a fork formation, and then this shows at the time of the fork, which will be at 58, when I said that from 59 onwards the person's life will be comfortable. At 58 they will make a very they will make a lot of money, because see, the Saturn mount is for money fulfillment. So they had this goal to achieve this much money, to achieve something, maybe pay off debt, could be pay off debts, or make the children's life more easy, even though children will be earning a lot. So we see we see a very good post-retirement age. Then we see from Mercury line is forming, which means line is going there, which means from the earning will be from business as well, and there will be name and fame in society as well, because the sun line is there. But remember that this sun line is one of the most controversial, because it gives very good luck, can give worldwide success, but the problem is the person will have to really go through struggles throughout their life to gain that. But when they they enter their 40s, their life will be made easier, but only if they have faced the struggles beforehand. So this is sun line which I've seen in many people, especially my cousin, who is facing education problems right now, but slowly he is recovering from them. So as he's recovering, then he is getting the success, and he can see also the effects of the sun line, because upper Mars shows that, because he had to suddenly move to Pakistan from UAE, and he had less education, and he didn't do grade 12, so he only did grade 11. So he faced the delays in getting the education. But even after 3 years of not studying, he got A's in math. So he because he faced the struggle. So you have to struggle to get the success. There is no shortcut for this upper Mars sun line. Then we see that the heart line is very strong, because see, for a businesswoman the heart line uh, should be very straight. It is very extremely straight, and then it is like it is going a bit upwards, but that doesn't matter. It is as that doesn't matter at all. So this is the ideal length for a woman who is very practical, very realistic, and does not say magic happened to me, or that stupid like things which do not exist happen to me. So they are very logical and stuff. Now the only drawback of this hardline is, because see, the more straight it is, the more logical the person, and if it starts from Saturn like this, starts from Saturn, that means the person is very good in saving and making money, maybe also very good in mathematics. But then we see that there is this line going downwards towards the headline. So this means that at around maybe 28 something happened, which means that something like from the heart is happening. So the person made a decision from their heart which affected their mental capacity, which also, because headline is the domain of money as well, and headline is not breaking, and headline is not being cut by any minor line. So it could be that she made a heartbeat decision, could even be divorce or trusting the wrong person, maybe from family, and then that lead to a very big money loss, from which she doesn't suffer from, but she does not forget as well, does not forgive the person, because she is very I won't say unforgiving or selfish, because that is see, people who have the heartline in at least this phase, this means that they are balanced, they do not get jealous or they do not get vengeful. But what happens is, if it's too like high, person is very jealous of other people. If it's too like low, it means that the person does not like let other people in easily because of their trust issues. They might have trust issues, but again what happens is they do not forgive people, especially if the wrong the other people have done is very major thing. So these people, again, what they do is leave the family, the immediate family, the parents, the extended family, and then go their own, especially if the thing is a relationship like which they did on their own, or if they think the children are being mistreated, they will leave. They will be leaving people, and they might have they could have many friends, they could be very social because the Venus mount is good, but again this person will only let some people in, and they might talk a lot about even their problems to many people, but they will only talk about the serious things to one or two people. They confide in only the closest to them, but they are not those people who will stick around and take the abuse. They will leave, and because I said that this person does not take any abuse from someone, so they are very, I would say, pragmatic and realistic, and not living in the fantasy world. The headline itself is ending on upper Mars, which shows that the person, again, this is the ideal headline length. It is ending like under the Apollo, but on the upper Mars. That means that the person's life is filled with not, I wouldn't say filled with struggle, but filled with always that there is, I wouldn't say struggle actually, I would say even not hardship, but events which happen, which this means that the person always has to stand up for other people, and other people blame them for maybe breaking up families, maybe being too aggressive. But no, this person is always in the right, I would say, because they believe first and foremost in justice. Money and everything else comes last. So not materialistic at all, can also be generous, but only with people who are close to them. So as I said, you might not meet many people, especially in Nepal or South Asia as a whole, which has your mother's hand, because with age the person becomes tired and such. But here we see the energy levels are very high and stuff. But we make sure to, if, as I said, she does not suffer from any ailments, maybe a bit of weak heart, because the heart line is islanded. It is again showing a bit of eye problems as well. But weak heart does not mean that heart problems. It just means that it could result to palpitations. So she might have heavy palpitations because of the Apollo mount. What I recommend is not to overwork, because this all hand I see a lot of workaholism. Lakshmi Mittal palm reading, I will send, you can search on YouTube or even go to my request the article on that. I will send you that also, the article. So he also has similar problem, that he is also a workaholic. He is one of the richest people in the world, but workaholism is leading to deficient heart power. So because Apollonian and Martian and again Venus, these give a lot of energy to the person. They are always up and awake, they need little sleep, so that and they don't take tension at all. But when they become older, especially I'm saying 80s, 90s, they will also be working by will then too. So they have to like tone it down a little, and they should be like suppose they get successful in the 60 or 50 53 from onwards. So they will be like working hard by choice. But what happens is that they should tone it down. So workaholism, because when they tone it down, they will see that because the headline, lifeline, fate line, all are strong, but the heart line is a bit being cut out like this. So that could also mean, of course, the relationship problems, the marriage problems, the problems with her own side of the family. So maybe even maybe in-laws. But the thing is that she should be like she should not work too hard. That is the drawback, which can also lead to I won't say psychological, because psychologically she will be sound, but physical ailment. So you should advise that to her. Then we also see that the lifeline is going a bit outward towards the Mount of Moon. So the more she grows up, the more she is traveling outside her hometown, and she might even go abroad if you also tell her to come. Then we see very interesting that, but in the end the lifeline is then taking a downward turn, and from 70 she might return. Like maybe she spends a few years abroad, she doesn't like it that much, and she returns. As I said, she is not money oriented, she does not care which country she is in, but maybe she senses some, I would say, discrimination, because developed country is usually not that much discrimination, but maybe for her she won't be used to it, because she, you know, she has flexibility, the thumb is flexible, again she can adapt it, but maybe she won't just like the outside lifestyle. So at 70 she decides to return. Maybe around 53 she goes, but at 70 around she returns. That she's like you know, maybe she even starts a business there, works with multinational clients, multicultural clients and stuff, and you know, gain that name and fame, which I said at 58 she will become very famous due to her own artwork. But again at 70 I see her returning. That too, it's actually her choice. I would say her choice, but because it's the line is breaking, then it's going inward. That mostly means that 80% of the person returns, of course, due to their own choice, but because they don't care about the developed world as such. So yeah, this is all I can see from the poem. I also have told the dates of the events which will transpire. Oh yeah, also, but I was almost forgetting that this is very important, that there is a square formation on the lower Mars. So this means protection from enemies, or protection, like suppose she got into a fight and she or self-defense, and she, you know, like in self-defense she injured the other person. So this stops them from, you know, this stops them from their own anger or being too aggressive, or you know, like not killing the person, but harming them to a point of near fatality. So these things, like this lessons that negative aggression. Aggression is good if it's used in business, if it's used in real life, if it's used in love to protect loved ones. There is good aggression as well. Some people are naturally aggressive, but they should be positively aggressive, which she is, because the upper Mars is strong. But I think this square is also there to lessen the effects of a overdeveloped lower Mars, because she is a Martian. Her main personality type is Martian. So I think this square also acts as a protection. It lessens the negative effects associated with the lower Mars, which is temper tantrums, being angry for no reason, blood pressure, the after effects of anger, these things. So it lessens these things with age, and she might find herself very relaxed. That's why I think I see no minor lines, like any lines like the hand is not raised at all, because she doesn't, or she hasn't never taken tension, or she right now is taking no tension. So the square is very good there. It means protection from the ill effects of the Mars mounts. And then we also see some 1 or 2 lines going towards Saturn in the early age. So maybe she did 2 things during her early marriage which gave her money, or like that. So it led to money, because it is going like this. So yeah, Saturn is the domain of money. So again, Saturn is a bit also a bit undeveloped, which means that financial stability, finding financial stability comes late, maybe when she turns 53, and financially she has maybe been up and down through her whole life, maybe due to her partner. So but she has a lot of love to give you. I'm pretty sure you are not the only child in the family. So overall this is very good. So a lot of singular focus in the hand. Some travel related things will also have happened. Maybe she traveled a lot due to financial instability of her husband, but she was never poor. This I can assure you, because of parents, herself and stuff. So this person does not go below lower middle class, and they are self-taught. Very good. And I will send the transcript as soon as I can. Please do listen to this and let me know what you thought. And again, thank you so much for ordering, and you don't have to review this service. You have already left a review, so we can keep this between us. Thank you so much, my friend, and have fun watching this.